Come with me and you'll see. What's going on, guys? Carter here with Edge Mindset. We got some wild ones here. I need you to, what's the term? I need you to extend your disbelief. No, I need you to, whatever it is. You need to just go with it, man. Close your eyes, bite your lip, and just go with it. We're getting into some wild territory here. This is going to potentially, if you're a knife purist, this is going to piss you off. Because here's the deal. I'll frame it this way. I always say, here's the deal. Where's the tape, Crescent edges? Look at this. Bro, come on. Come on. That's not good. You got to tape it up, man. I know you're going to watch this. You got to tape up your packages. Have you not been looking at all the shenanigans, especially with USPS, man? Stuff is getting stolen. And if they have an easy way to kind of swipe in here, they're going to do it. So if I'm saying that I'm concerned about how crazy these knives are, and some of you know what's probably in here, then I know a lot of you are going to lose your minds when you see, this is pure art knife territory, right? Both of these are pure art knife territory. These are not EDC knives. I'm not going to recommend, if you're looking for something because you work on a ranch and you need something to go out and mend fences, these are not the knives I would recommend. These are wild. These are wild. These are for the knife guy that has everything and they want some eye candy to look at. Right up my alley, right? Might not be up your alley. Let's see. I don't know which one is which. We're going to pick, actually, you know what? I am going to selectively, we're going to get progressively wilder, right? We're going to start with the more tame version of both of these. So please just have an open mind. Let's just hang out and look at these. So MagnaCut 62 to 64 HRC. This is the frickin' Gladiator. 25 of 50. That's pretty cool, I think. Halfway up, right? I'm not at the bottom, not at the top, halfway up. This knife company kind of blew me away the first time I saw their stuff. It's a designer out of California. I'll post his information down below. I just always forget, if he's sharing his full name and stuff like that. So I'm always cautious. Ooh. Yes, buddy. There it is. This is the Eternal in bronze. And I can tell already I like it. The OEM is Riot. And so it's going to at least... that feels good. It's going to at least be made well. And so, believe it or not, this is, like I said, this is the more tame of the two. This is the more normal knife of the two. Let's get a weight. This feels really lightweight. I'm digging this thing. I am digging this thing. 4.1 ounces. That's impressive. Let's open it up. Open it up. Compound ground, Gladiator style dagger blade. No, it is not sharpened on both sides. That would be cool though. Although I'm pretty sure. See, I'm closing it like an arch nemesis. I don't have to. I can close it normal. You couldn't, right? You couldn't do it. That would be so freaking dangerous. Bunch of different ways you can open this baby up. Oh, where do we start? Let's start just the tip. Let's start at the tip. What's steel? Oh, MagnaCut. MagnaCut 62 to 64 HRC. Kind of funny, right? Kind of funny because, that's the irony with art knives, right? The knife that probably needs good HRC and good steel the least tend to get it. Very top-notch steel from a top-notch company of Riot. And yet, not many people are probably using this knife to its full potential. Definitely not me. However, you can use this. It's really not that crazy. You've got a slight recurve right here. It's not as thick behind the edge as I thought. Is that flat ground? It's flat ground. So it's not a slicer, right? Gets even thicker up here. Nice robust tip. You can use and cut with this. The only problem with sharpening on this is going to be, the recurve isn't stout enough or aggressive enough or extreme enough to cause a problem with most sharpening systems. The problem you're going to have is if you're using a clamp sharpening system, there's not going to be a good way to clamp this in. You don't have a good flat to clamp it in. So this is going to be more for somebody that actually has a belt grinder and can actually sharpen this thing up like a knife maker, or if you have a work sharp like the old work sharp, well, not old, but the one with the little mini belt, maybe you could do it. I would recommend sending it to somebody that knows what they're doing. Use this thing and send it to somebody that knows how to sharpen it. Now, here's a little sneak peek for you. This one, I don't know what you would do with this one. I don't know how you would ever sharpen that guy. This is the more usable of the knife. Let's check ergos. This is awful. This is awful. It gets fat down here. I mean, it's awful from like, yeah, I mean, it doesn't feel good. But this actually feels surprisingly well. It's kind of Strider-esque, even though it's a straight line. This kind of fits right there in the palm of your hand. You've got these quillions here to protect your fingers. But let's be honest, right? Like, I didn't buy this as a user. And, I'll still kind of quasi-review it as such, but that's not why I got it. Look at the flats. It's got an acid stone wash on those flats. And you would hardly notice it from this distance. But when you look at it, it's got the details. It's got the details. Regular pivot on the back. You've got beautiful shred carbon fiber inlays. Look at how good that is done. There is no gaps going on. Like crazy. Zero gaps. And look at this pivot, if you can even call it that. It is a concave, half moon shaped crescent, right? Crescent edges. How frickin' sweet is that? I mean, at first, it looks like it's an optical illusion, but it is actually concave in there. Like, I don't even know exactly how that's working. I mean, I guess it's not that crazy, but very, very cool. You got the acid stonewash on the flippers right there, running on bearings. Beautiful bronze finish. Knowing Riot, it is going to get, as you get it oily, it's going to darken up. They don't have the best bronzing anodization out there. They tend to kind of turn kind of gray, which does kind of suck. I've seen them do better at sometimes, but this is clearly like a low voltage bronze, where it's going to really get subdued. But I think that's fine. It's such a crazy knife. Having the bronze colorization be less gold and more gray, I don't think is terrible. I don't know. You guys comment down below, or maybe I'm just being apologetic. I kind of knew this would happen because that is, Riot. Pretty common for Riot with their anodization. They do the low voltage stuff, and it, really tones down. You can kind of see here. You can barely even tell that it's bronze at all. Kind of just looks just like an off gray, and it's going to continue to lose even more. I mean, not lose more color, but as the little crevices get more oil in there, and everything kind of tones down. That's what's going to happen. Now, of course, I can always, if I want to, take some Windex or some rubbing alcohol or any kind of degreaser, and it will bring back the out-of-box colorization if I want to. But then, as I handle it, it'll be lost again. It is crazy how much it's lost, but still looks very cool. We got a backspacer right here, probably DLC coated. Action is fantastic. Flipper works great. You can do that. You can use a thumb, probably that. Oh yeah, you can do that too. That got a little sexual there. Very cool. I like anybody that is kind of pushing the boundaries of design, right? I just like to see cool things. And back in the day, the only way to get something wild like this would be a very expensive custom knife. And now you can get these, it's a production knife, essentially. Let's go to the next one. Let's go to the weird one. This is the eggplant emoji slasher. So he does unique names for these. This is the Spade. You've probably seen this, 33 of 50. Very cool. Very, very cool. As far as I know, based on what look at that. Based on what the owner has said, they're not going to do any more runs of these. Famous last words, right? We've heard that before. Microtech is notorious for saying they are only doing one run of something and then they do more. We're going to have the same issue with this guy here. We can take in some of that purple, but already you can see, get some oil on there, and it is going to turn kind of an off gray. And once again, these designs are so wild. I really don't think anybody is going to lose sleep over losing that coloration. Now you could say, well, just don't wipe it and it won't go away. Yeah, it will with the oils on your hand. Man, it just really goes. It just really, really goes. Once again, you can get a purple that stays. The purple's really gone, huh? Yeah. All right. This one's full on a little bit disappointment with the purple. I mean, I can handle this one. It's still got a bronzy color to it, and I actually maybe like it better like this. But yeah, this purple is gonzo. Like, it is gone. And that is because, look at that. Look at that. That is because they use a low voltage anodization by default. Look at this. This is the Spade. Once again, it's only sharpened on this side and this whole front piece here. I don't know how you would ever sharpen this thing. You would have to definitely use some sort of belt type system. We got a satin DLC finish on this thing. It is fantastic. It is fantastic. Beautiful. Crazy. Look at this. I'm not going to talk ergos. Yeah, we're not going to talk about ergos because I would never use this knife per se. Kind of difficult. It's front flipper only. It is kind of difficult because of how bulbous the bottom is right there. It looks like a guillotine. Like, it brings new meaning to the word guillotine action. You've got these fins right here made out of shredded carbon fiber. I like how this is a solid piece and not sandwich construction. And I like how, this is reinforced. Carbon fiber is pretty tough. These fins are about as reinforced as you could be, being made out of carbon fiber. And there's a upscaled version of this that has mokume all through here, and including those fins there. I bet that thing weighs a ton. You've got that same concave pivot right there. Just very cool. I will say, even though we lost the purple, it is kind of shocking to see that go away. It does have a different look than just normal titanium, though. So it is more subtle, but it has kind of a different luminescence to it. And I still think it looks good. But man, I mean, you would never think that this is a purple knife. And the only reason I'm really harping on it is because this is a showpiece, right? Like I said, you're not taking this out on the farm. You're not cutting and mending fences with this guy. Even though this is a wicked tip for draw cuts. Like, look at the reach you get on this thing. You lock in. This is locked into your hand right here. It grabs around your pinky. I mean, this would be good. Man, it would be kind of cool to send this to somebody that could, not that I can't use it, but somebody that could sharpen this thing, and would be comfortable using it, and to see what they could do with it. Because as wild as this blade is, I mean, it can be utilitarian. You've got flat areas here for just normal cutting. Like I said, this is almost like a hawkbill tip where you can use that to do draw cuts and detail work. I mean, choking up is kind of weird, but you can still do it. And then you got this front here, which is basically like a chisel for scraping, as well as potentially doing pull cuts that way. So it is kind of a utilitarian blade, honestly. That may be a bit of a stretch, but the handle's a little awkward to get comfortable, right? This is going to dig into you. Hammer grip is probably the best, but it's kind of wild. I've seen some pretty wild blade shapes that are kind of similar in like traditional knives, so it's not unprecedented to do something wild like this. But definitely not something that would be easy to sharpen on your normal knife enthusiast captured stone system for sure. But I don't think people are buying this to use it. I certainly didn't. I bought it because it looks like the really cool art knives that I saw in Blade magazine when I was younger, that I had no chance of not only owning, but no chance of handling, right? No chance of handling. And this is like, when you talk about leveraging China for manufacturing, using them as OEMs, like, this is one of the benefits. Aside from just getting quality for very little money, it allows makers to do things like this. This wouldn't have been something that you could traditionally do, right? Back in the day when you had to have a way to machine your own knives. Like, this would not be something that the average person would crank out. They would do something that would appeal more to the masses, because the amount of money it would take to, I wonder if I can do this. Can I do this? No, it is front flipper only for me. Maybe you can do it that way. You wouldn't have been able to make something like these crazy knives here. So I think they're absolutely stunning and amazing. I'm so glad to have them in my collection. I am going to be keeping a very close eye on Crescent edges and what they're coming out with. I know their next model, I forget the name of it, I think it's coming out relatively soon, is more traditional. It's a more traditional frame lock with a Bowie style blade. Still has some really cool stylings going on, but nothing wild and crazy like these guys right here. It's kind of cool how, like, because even though I've oiled this up, you know, it's getting like cool patterns kind of coming into this thing. Very neat. Very neat. All right, guys. You know, I usually sign off by saying comment down below what you think of these. I know it's going to be colorful down there. I know it's going to be wild. But yeah, bring it on. Bring on the comments, baby. Good or bad. I want to hear from you guys. I love these things. All right, guys. Talk to you later.